Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. A long time ago I did a video called What Leo Fender Got Wrong, where I told you guys about a friend of mine who had an old, from the 70s jazz bass and the neck had gone wonky. And Leo Fender had originally thought, well, if something goes wrong with your neck, you can just buy a new one since they're bolted on. And how people don't really do that, and how he may have overestimated people's desire to just replace necks and underestimated their desire to fix stuff, especially when it's something as magical and mojo-rific as an old Fender. But I got a lot of people who said, you know what Leo Fender really got wrong was he put the truss rod adjustment in the heel. Now, you can't really make it out exactly, but for those of you who don't know, there is a piece that looks a little like this, and that is the truss rod adjustment in the heel. And man, this is something that people fairly universally hate, unless they're really, really, really into vintage stuff, or if they live somewhere where they don't have to adjust the truss rod very much, or if they just like tinkering with stuff. But by and large, that hidden truss rod access is something that really irritates people. And another thing is, some people don't even know that it's there. So like when we have done reveal videos in the past where we have truss rods that are on the heel and covered up by a pickguard, people say stuff like, how come there's no truss rod? Why didn't you put a truss rod on that? And so on. And it's there, it's just in the heel and you just can't see it because it's not on the headstock. I really like how the headstock without any sort of truss rod access looks. I think it looks cool. But the utility of having something that's easy to adjust while everything's, together is certainly undeniable. So I thought I would do a video today. It's sort of another one of those along the lines of what Leo Fender got wrong, but also how you can fix it. Now, this is a, what is this, Chris? This is a reissue.
56 reissue. 56
reissue Strat. It's a really nice one. It's ash with a see-through white, and it's got a 1-ply pickguard. But the guy who got it, he brought it in, his tremolo arms snapped off in the block, so we're going to replace the block. And he also asked if there was anything we could do to convert his truss rod to a wheel type, since you can't make it, we can't convert it to a headstock kind, but we can convert it to a wheel type in the neck. Now, or I'm sorry, in the heel. What you guys need to understand is this is not a vintage instrument, and if you don't want to do this to your vintage instrument, I'm not telling you to do it. The guy asked me to do this, and the other nice thing about it is all that we're going to change is we're going to put a little notch in the pickguard to allow for the wheel. We will have to remove some meat from in between the neck pocket and the first pickup route, but you know what? To make an omelet, you got to crack a few eggs. And really, anyone who's like that excited about a reissue guitar going under the knife, blow it out your ass, okay? Let's just get that right out of the way first. So today what I'm going to show you how to do is replace the stock truss rod adjustment with a wheel type. It's so easy, even guys who use CNC machines can do it. No, that's so unfair. No, it's actually very, very easy. So, the first thing we got to do is we have to remove the neck. And I'm not even going to put this on the bench. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it in front of you guys. All right, so there is our truss rod adjustment. What does it say on the neck? It's probably got some magic inscription on it. This is a cool neck. It's a one-piece neck. All right, so let's remove the old piece. So here's the old one that was there. Now this is just a piece of round stock that has been slot for a screwdriver and has been threaded with 1032 threads. You can buy these guys, link in the description below, from StewMac. These are just wheel adjust truss rod nuts, and they have 1032 threads on them as well, and they have a wheel. So all you got to do is thread that guy on. Okay, there you go. The neck has now been converted to wheel adjust. And you can go back and forth to the original piece just by, you know, unscrewing this guy and screwing this guy on. Make sense? Here's where the problem is. The neck was super easy to do, but now we have to relieve part of the body and the pick guard so that the wheel fits in there. So you can see what's going to happen here is, let me see if I can get it. So you see how the wheel is going to sit proud of the neck. We need to relieve the pick guard, and we also need to relieve this chunk of wood here where the neck pocket ends before the pickup route begins. So the first thing we're going to do is pull the pick guard. And that's good because we're actually swapping out one of the pickups too. Chris is going to do that, only he doesn't know it yet. Actually, he does. All right, so see, this is where we're going to have to put our notch for the neck to, for the new wheel to ride. I'm pulling the bridge because we need to remove the block anyway to get this busted chunk of arm out, and it's just gonna make life easier, so I pulled the bridge. All right, you guys might not be able to see it, but there's a little piece of masking tape right here so that I can draw on the guitar, and all I'm gonna do is set the neck in and put some marks, you know, equidistant around the wheel adjust. So this chunk here will have to be removed. Now what you could do is you could just take a saw and, you know, cut a notch all the way from the neck pocket into the pickup route and then just bash it out until this guy fit. But we're actually going to take this over to my beloved pin router. I've got a little thing here. We're just going to put this guy on, and it's going to cut it out and make it perfect, and it'll look cool too. So let's do that now. So now we have a little notch for our wheel to go, and if you don't have a pin router, you don't have to use one. You can use a regular handheld router, or you can use a saw, and like I said, go to the other pickup cavity. You can use a Dremel tool, really whatever turns you on. I have a pin router, so that's what turns me on, and we're all set. Okay guys, so as you can see, our wheel now has some clearance to move back and forth, and you can just adjust it as needed or loosen it as needed, and it's going to be a snap. Now what we will have to do is remove material from the pick guard, and we can use the notch that we put in the body as our template, or we can just sort of file a notch in the pick guard, whatever is easiest. Chris is working on putting a new pickup in the bridge position, so as soon as he's done, we'll do that. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and screw the neck back. Okay, remember how I said I was going to reattach the neck first? Well, actually what I did was I used my little moto tool to grind the pick guard out to match the hole that we already have in the wood, and now I'm going to reattach the neck. Didn't someone ask you or say to you that they would never use a drill to attach a neck to the guitar, Chris?
Yeah. Well, and they wouldn't trust anybody that way either.
Yeah. Wonder what they do at Fender. Probably treat every guitar as though it were magical. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now we have installed a little wheelo truss rod adjusto, and it looks pretty good. Now, some people are going to say, well, I would like it if it was chrome. Well, it only comes in black, so you could chrome plate it if you wanted, but you know, you don't do this because you want it to be period correct. You do it because you want it to be, you know, easy to adjust. So this neck is ready to rock and roll. And if my customer ever needs to adjust the truss rod, it's gonna be super, super easy. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, this episode of What Leo Fender Got Wrong. These are always popular and people love to tell me that Leo Fender didn't get anything wrong and how dare I say that and I'm just a punk and blah, 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 blah. And they're right. I actually don't have a problem with just the regular old Leo Fender heel adjust truss rod, but this is a solution if you are one of those people that do think that it's a pain in the ass. So guys, if you like this video, give me the thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you appreciate content like this, you might want to go over to our Patreon page and consider becoming a member. Even $1 a month goes a long way to helping us bring you guys neat stuff like this. But if you can't do Patreon, we totally get it. Just share the video as many places as you can possibly imagine to do so and help us grow the channel that way. So until next time, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, build it yourself. That's what I do. Thanks for watching, everybody.